murdered in our own community, and now this mass shooting. The other disease is the disease of guns, and a country that is awash in guns, whose only purpose is to kill other people. I'll be honest, I'm angry. I'm angry that 35 years ago, when I was a closeted teenager, that there were LGBT people being murdered in this country, and that 35 years later, it is still happening. We are here today to mourn the loss of these 50 members of our community, to honor the survivors, to send good energy to the family and the friends who have been left behind, but not just to mourn. We're here today as well to recommit ourselves to the fight, to end anti-LGBT violence in this country. And to finally force Congress to do something about the damn guns. So I am Scott Wiener, and I have the honor of representing this neighborhood on the Board of Supervisors, and I am joined today by my colleague, Supervisor David Campos. The two of us, we are the LGBT caucus of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. Supervisor Campos.
Thank you.
We love you, Scott.
You know, it's a very difficult day for me, and I apologize if I'm emotional. As a gay Latino man,
where are you going, Diane?
it is not shocking to me that the worst mass shooting in the history of this country would target the queer community. And it is not shocking to me that it's not just the queer community that's being targeted, but also the Latino community. And one of the things that my queer Latino brothers and sisters have said to me is, David, make sure that the Latino community is not forgotten in all of this. And let's be honest, we, all of us have to recommit ourselves to the work that remains. I think that we as an LGBT community, to some extent, have gotten complacent. We think that because we have same-sex marriage that somehow the work is done. And I think that for those of us who happen to be of color, let's also be honest and have a frank conversation about the fact that oftentimes people of color are marginalized within our own LGBTQ community. And I can tell you that as a queer Latino man, I'm glad that some attention is being paid to us. But we don't want to be talked about just when members of our community are massacred. We want our leaders to think about queer Latinos and Latinos in general, people of color, transgender, not just when there is a massacre, but every single day. Every single day. And I want to send a message to the people out there, the Donald Trumps of the world. There are consequences. There are consequences when you talk about hate. The stuff that happened in Orlando happens. And I am not going to let anyone use this disaster, this massacre, to go after the Muslim community. Together, and as a queer Latino man, I know that targeting the Muslim community the way some people are doing is simply wrong, and we're going to speak out against it. Jones, I just got off the phone with Cleve Jones, who said, you know, I can't be there, but tell people that I'm thinking about this. And what he said was something that actually resonated with me. In terms of guns, and Scott Wiener talked about this, you know, the Congress and our leaders did nothing when dozens of kids were killed. How can they do something now that you have all these queers, many of them queer of color? But I am hopeful that we collectively are going to make sure that the voices of this queer community and these communities of color are heard in Washington, D.C., or wherever they need to be heard so that there is change. We are going to have justice, not because it is given to us, because we demand it, and we're going to take it from them. Thank you.
So we are honored tonight to have members of the clergy and great community leaders here. We have our members of the Interfaith Council here. Let's hear it for the Interfaith Council and our religious leaders. And to do our invocation tonight, I want to invite up to the stage Pastor Megan Rohr, Sister Roma from the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, and Sister Mary Peter. Come on up.
Out of the bars and into the streets. The refrain began in San Francisco on Compton Street in the Tenderloin 50 years ago. Out of the bars and into the streets. It was reverberated with high heels being thrown through the windows at Stonewall. Out of the bars and into the streets. 35 years ago, we started posting pictures of HIV and AIDS ravishing our community. Out of the bars and into the streets. Harvey Milk demanded down this way. We've known gun violence before. And we see it today. And we must also come out of our churches and into the streets, out of our temples and into the streets, out of our mosques and into the streets, because angry people of faith are not the majority. We are queer. We are transgender. We are fabulous. We are faithful. We must act up. We must stand up. We must vote up. Until everyone is safe in bathrooms, in churches, and in the fucking streets.
My fierce, beloved brothers and sisters, thank you for standing bravely with Orlando, with our community, and with people around the world whose hearts break open with grief tonight.
In the raw, emotional days to come, many voices will try to shape this tragedy, lay blame and direct our response. We will be tempted to close our hearts in fear and anger.
That is why, my brothers and sisters, here and now, in the spirit of Harvey Milk, we shine our light to guide this path towards healing and to hope.